What's going on, people? Mike Z-Town here. Happy Metal Monday. So this idea came from the magazine Metal Injection. I'm not sure how many of you guys read that magazine or look at their stuff online, but they do a yearly Black Metal History Month. And it just so happens by coinkydink that it falls in February, which is the same month as Black History Month. I'm not necessarily offended that they choose to do this in February. I just found it to be kind of stupid and a bit insensitive. I know it's a play on words. I'm not fucking stupid. However, choosing to do it the same month as Black History Month just makes you come off as a bit of a dickhead. And you guys know me. I don't give half a shit about whose race is what in what band. That doesn't matter. The whole point of the matter is, if you're going to do something that is involving metal in a month that is kind of already dedicated to something else, then why don't you kind of combine the two? It just seems kind of logical to me, and it keeps you from looking like an asshole. And before you guys start in with your bullshit, yes, I know that Black History Month does not own February, okay? February also belongs to American Heart Month, which is also very important. I hear in the UK it's LGBT History Month, which is great. Here it's also National Bird Feeding Month, which I'm sure the celebrations for that are just amazing. It's National Grapefruit Month. It's National Children's Dental Health Month. Get them children's teeth cleaned. It's Canned Food Month. And I learned this one today. It's National Weddings Month. Because, God, what better month to get married in than February? And who in the hell celebrates this? I don't even know. Being a black guy who's been into heavy music since I was in high school, and also being a black guy who was in a heavy band myself, I would have loved to see something like this when I was younger. Because every time I saw a black person in a heavy band back then, I got stoked. And it was really because it was a matter of seeing someone that looked like me, that was into the same things as me. It made me feel a little less weird, a little less of an outcast. So since nobody else seems to be doing anything like this, I figured I'd do it myself. I doubt that many people will see this video, but I think it's a cool idea to highlight some of the black people who have been a part of metal that I find enjoyable. And this by no means is in any order of importance. This is just a list of bands that when I think of black people in metal, these bands come to mind. So the first band that comes to mind is easily Suffocation. Suffocation is a death metal band from New York. They are the purveyors of brutal death metal. Mike Smith played drums, and Terrence Hobbs played guitar, both of them black men. And if you have not heard Suffocation, you are fucking up. They are so good. Effigy of the Forgotten and Pierce from Within are two of my favorite death metal albums. Next band, Blasphemy. Sick black metal band from Canada, kind of like the old school style of black metal, kind of like Sarcophago, that kind of stuff. Definitely one of the most important black metal bands of the olden days, but their guitar player, who goes by Caller of the Storms, is black. Mystifier, black metal band from Brazil. These guys have been around since the beginning, but they don't get talked about that much. And the whole damn band, as you can see, was black. I still remember first discovering these guys. Our guitar player from my band, Sam, he brought their CD to practice, and I can't lie, when I saw the picture inside of a whole bunch of black dudes with corpse paint, I guess, it was kind of humorous. But when I actually heard their music, I was like, wow, this is pretty fucking good. Crack Dust. They're a pretty interesting brutal death metal band from Botswana. Again, the whole band is black. But if you like Suffocation, Internal Bleeding, or like Deeds of Flesh, I think you'll probably dig them. They're pretty good. Mayday. Mayday was an awesome metal hardcore band from Virginia. I first found them through a split with Integrity. They're super dark, gritty metal hardcore, long before metalcore was even a term. But one of their guitar players was black. I actually don't know which one. It's either Craig Moore or Dwayne Wilson. And since this was a DIY hardcore band from back in the day, they only had a few releases. But I've seen videos, and there's also a group photo where one of the guys is clearly black. But again, I just don't know which guy it is. But either way, Mayday, awesome band. Next band, Damnation. great metallic hardcore band from DC. But what made them really interesting was actually the guitar sounds of Mr. Ken Olden. I won't get deep into it, but Ken Olden is a hardcore legend. Okay, he was in, besides Damnation, he was also in Battery and some other great hardcore bands. But Damnation, they were nice and heavy, but they had some almost industrial guitar sounds. And their album, No More Dreams of Happy Endings, is easily one of my favorite hardcore albums of those days. Hyrax. Dude, Hyrax was a rad thrash metal band from California. Like classic old school thrash, like Violence era thrash, like Creator era thrash. And their singer, Catan W. DePena, was a black guy. Dude, Suicidal Tendencies, man. This was the band that got me into heavy metal. They were from Venice Beach, California, and this is one of my all-time favorite thrash bands. One of the most surprising things for me when I first found them was discovering that their lead guitarist, Rocky George, was black. Their album, Lights Camera Revolution, is still easily one of my all-time favorite albums. Rocky George's songwriting, Rocky George's leads, his riffs, they're just fucking amazing. Amazing. So seriously, give that album a listen if you've never heard it. When you think of black people in metal, if Body Count does not come to mind, you are fucking up, bruh. Come on, man. Who doesn't know who Body Count is? In case you've been living under a fucking rock for 20 years, they were an all-black metal band from Los Angeles, led by the one and only Mr. Ice-T. And I can still remember when their first album came out and how bad I wanted it. I already loved Ice-T as a rapper, but him being in a metal band just made me so happy. But I remember my mom wouldn't let me buy it because there was a song on there that said Mama's Gotta Die Tonight. And I guess maybe she thought I would kill her if I listened to that song. There's only one thing that can make it right. Mama's gotta die tonight. Shit's tight. Living Color. Come on, man. I can still remember when I first heard this band. Cult of Personality was on MTV Headbangers Ball. And I was blown away. I loved that song. I was like, holy shit. Another black metal band. Like, I was even more stoked to find out that outside of Cult of Personality, they were a rad band with a ton of rad songs, man. Like, I love Corey Glover's vocals. He has some really good range, a lot of soul. And Vernon Reid was such an interesting guitar player. I've gotten into discussions with people before that I think that Tom Morello owes a lot of his influence and his guitar playing to Vernon Reid, because their styles are very similar in my opinion. King's X, another band that I can't see people not being familiar with. You know, I remember seeing their video for Black Flag on Headbangers Ball as a kid and thinking it was so fucking cool. There was a black flag on my morning. There was a black flag on my days. There was a black flag on everything around, and I was walking backwards again. I also thought it was weird that the song was called Black Flag and they had a black singer, and I was just like, is this some weird joke being played on me? But it was not. But yeah, King's X, great prog metal band from Missouri. Doug Pinnick, amazing singer, great bass player, black man. And last, but certainly not least, Black Death. I'm sure all of you guys have seen pictures of these guys, probably making fun of them. But they were the first all-black heavy metal band, and they were actually pretty fucking good, man. They reminded me a lot of like old Iron Maiden, and they were from, of all places, Cleveland, Ohio. I don't know why I find that so odd, but I do. But they were a great band. Tonight is the night of the damned. They're fucking rad. If I could find a copy of their record for anything less than $200, I would buy it. So that's it, but clearly this is not a list of all the bands that happen to have black people in them. There are plenty of others. These are just the bands that I happen to enjoy personally. And there are also plenty of bands that have black members that fall outside of heavy or extreme music. But for the sake of this video being a Metal Monday video, I did not include them. But if there are some metal bands that have black members that you think I left out, feel free to throw them in the comment section down below. That would be cool. And as usual, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you. And I will see you guys next time. Alright? Peace, bitches! And stay black. I'm just kidding. You know, if you're already black, you have no choice but to stay black. And it's not like if you're not black, you can become black. It was a joke. Ha ha ha. If Metal Injection can make jokes, why can't Myke C-Town?